Hello, wonderful, wonderful viewers out there in the Doctor Who world. Today we're going to be talking about Doctor Who. So if you haven't watched Doctor Who up to the 3rd of February 2020, then please don't watch this video. If you're not all the way up to date, this video will contain spoilers. So make sure you're all the way up to date before watching this video. So last time I did a video, we were at Spyfall, and we had that arc with the Master and destroying Gallifrey and whatever. Since then we've had several episodes, and we have had the bombshell of the Ruth Doctor, we've had Captain Jack returning, we've had this lone Cyberman arc thing come back, coming into it. So lots has happened. In the flow of the series, we've had lots of mediocre episodes. For some reason, every single episode that we've had has all been set on Earth. That might be a thing. I don't know, the episode about the human evolution thing, that was an okay episode. We've had the Tesla episode, which was okay. I didn't particularly like the scorpion creatures. There was something off about them, the voice, the way they acted. I don't particularly like that. And then we had the Ruth episode with the Judoon, which was a wonderful shocker episode of wow kind of thing, but also annoyance, because at some way around this point they're going to start rewriting canon, and that's something I don't like. I don't mind them doing anything with the new series canon, but when they start messing with the classic series, that's when I start getting angry. So I wasn't particularly happy about that point that they could be rewriting canon, classic canon, because I don't like them tampering with classic Who. It is a television series I love completely, and I don't want them to be tampering with the classic series. They can tamper with the new series because I don't give a fuck about that. But yeah, the classic series, I hope they're not going to tamper with it. And I hope the Ruth Doctor is a one-off, that there's not going to be a whole 13 regenerations of female doctors or some other crap like that. But hopefully she's a one-off, and she's going to fit into the timeline like the War Doctor. I'm hoping. And there's not going to be some bullshit about being like 13 lives or whatever before Hartnell. Well, we know she's not before Hartnell because of the TARDIS outline. So she's definitely after Hartnell, so that's a blessing in that. So hopefully she's a one-off. But yeah, the story was a good story. I enjoyed it. And I enjoyed the excitement of this Doctor and the old TARDIS and that kind of excitement. There was that excitement. The episode was filled with excitement because we didn't know Captain Jack was going to come back. So that was a wow moment. Did kind of spoil it with I don't know, with the voice, because you instantly thought, Jack's back. It might be just better to just go, wham, I'm back, hello, I'm fabulous, I'm here, that kind of thing. But him kissing the companions, that was kind of funny. But yeah, and then we come up to, so after having that fantastic, wonderful episode of surprise, we have that boring crap we had yesterday. God, fuck, that was awful. About plastic. And you had the companions hopping between different places, so they had something to do. And then we had this plastic monster with birds and shit. It's a bit of a letdown from the previous episode. It's like, I think it was like, I was watching series 10, was it? With Capaldi's last series. And you had like really that whole story arc with like the monks. And then you had that boring, crappy episode about the light and the pagans dancing or whatever it was. And then that was a letdown. So it was kind of like that. You had a high, now you're a low. Next week's looks really good, by the way. But that last episode yesterday was a bit crappy all over the place. And then we come to the whole series thing, that the huge problem with this series is the companions. They have nothing to do. And it's blatantly obvious in every single episode that they have fuck all to do. And it is they're useless. They don't need to. The Doctor is good on her own. Her Doctor, Jodie Whittaker's Doctor, works perfectly on her own. She doesn't need companions, and yet her character, she goes and talks to people through time, like she meets people through time. She makes friends. She doesn't need companions, and the series is actually made like that. That she meets people in history and makes friends with them, and the companions useless. You don't need them at all. They are basically redundant in this story. In all the stories, they're redundant. They're not needed. And it's so stupid that even though Jodie Whittaker's Doctor does fantastic on her own, she's lumbered with the biggest TARDIS crew we've had in a very long time. And they do absolutely nothing. You want to see in the stories like Spyfall or whatever, yeah, they just ran around. Their storyline was completely redundant. In that episode with the futuristic humans things, they did fuck all. In the episode with Tesla, yes, Yaz, who's I like Yaz and Graham are my two favourite companions in this series. Yaz had something to do. Ryan and Graham had nothing to do. Then we had the Ruth episode where all of them were shifted off to Captain Jack because they got in the way of the story and they weren't needed. And then we got to the plastic episode, which just felt like this episode was made exactly so the companions had something to do. And it's not good in a series where you make a story so your companions had something to do. And even then, Yaz had something to do. They all had something to do, but it kind of felt like this story was made so they had something to do. And that's not a good way of making a series at all. The companions are useless. And if you took the companions out of the stories would still be the same. The stories would be exactly the same. They don't add anything to the plot whatsoever. So the stories would be exactly the same. And I think be a hell of a lot better for it. The companions aren't needed. As much as I like Graham and Yaz, they're not needed in the story. They're not needed at all. At all. And that's just a huge problem for this whole series. So that said, going forward in the series, what do I think is going to happen? I don't know, it's looking forward, but I think we've got too much at the moment. We have the Timeless Child, we have the Ruth Doctor, we have the Master, and we have this lone Cyberman storyline thing. I think adding the lone Cyberman thing into it wasn't needed, possibly. We might be having that next series, but I think the series finales are going to be too much to cram in. You've got the Master, you've got the Ruth Doctor, you've got the Timeless Child, you've got the destruction of Gallifrey, you've got the secrets that are coming out, you've got Captain Jack, you've got this lone Cyberman. It just seems to be so much to squeeze into that. We've still got 4 episodes to go, so some of that might be coming in, but it does seem like a lot to squeeze into the finale. So hopefully the finale is going to be epic, and I hope it's not rushed and things are squashed in, and I do hope they have a good use for the Ruth Doctor, because she has caused a lot of problems in Doctor Who fans and trying to fit her into canon. So I hope they have a good use for her, and that we do see her again, because it'd be a waste otherwise. Anyway, that's my little catch up on Doctor Who. Hope you looking forward to the series, and I'll hopefully do another video when we get to the end of the series, and we finally find out what all this is about. So thank you for watching. Goodbye.